What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Mohawk Motors. My name is Jason. So I'm out in the garage getting some time in on a project you haven't seen in a while. The Teen Dream Camaro. Now, I've got to be honest with you, I haven't even touched this thing in probably 2 or 3 months. Between getting the Trans Am and getting the Ass Blazer, getting the work done on those to get them legal and on the road so I can drive them this summer and enjoy them. I just haven't had much time to put into this thing. Now, the other factor here is I just am not excited about this project anymore. I got the white Trans Am. It's an original LS1 car. It's exactly what I wanted. So obviously I'm much more excited about that than I am about this thing. I've put a lot of time and effort into it to get it to where it is. The engine runs, it'll move under its own power, but I can't get the engine to run right. I'm still thinking it's because I've got such a mismatch conglomeration of parts on this thing that the stock PCM just can't handle it. It may not even be that the stock PCM can't handle it. It very well could be that I just don't have the tuning knowledge yet to teach the computer everything it needs to know, to give it all the parameters it needs in order to run all of these mismatched components. So I've got a bit of a problem. What do I do from here? What do I do going forward with this car? And that really has been most of the work I've been doing on this project recently. Thinking about the options, thinking about what I could do, and trying to decide what I'm going to do next. And I have a couple options, right? There's always options. So the first option, the easiest option, the one that takes the least amount of effort on my part, is sell it. Get it down on the ground, back it out of the garage, hose it off, take some pictures, and get this thing listed for sale. Really wouldn't take hardly any effort on my part, but it also would free up more time for the other projects that I am excited about. It would free up the working bay in my garage for the other projects I'm excited about. And I mean, it would get it out of my hair. Now the downsides, you know, not having it drivable on the street is gonna, I'm not gonna be able to get my return. I'm not gonna get a good return on investment on it, and out of my time or my money that I've put into this thing. That's the biggest drawback of that plan. Admittedly too, I still like the car. I'm just not excited to keep banging my head against it to try to get the thing to work. The other thing I could do is find and take it to someone with more tuning experience than I have. And I've looked into that a bit. There aren't a lot of really good, or at least really good reputation tuners in the area that'll tune a stock PCM. I found a few in Virginia, a few in New York that I think could really do the job and get it taken care of. And there's one in Pennsylvania, but it's a hike and it's not cheap. So that's an option, but I'm really not I'm not keen on that option either. Now there is another option I have that I'm excited about it for one reason. Actually, a couple of reasons. And that option is make this a dedicated race car and put it on an aftermarket PCM, like Holley EFI, something like that. One of those complete setups. You buy it, the box comes, you plug it in, turn it on, give it some basic information, and it should run. I've wanted to mess with one of those systems for a long time now, but they're not cheap. And the system I'd really like to go with would be a Holley Terminator. But man, I think last I looked, and most of the places I've been looking, they're back ordered for a couple months. Again, on top of not being cheap. However, I do understand they're much more user friendly, and it would have more capability for me using this as a dedicated race car going forward. The downside to my race car idea, the only drag strip that I know of within reasonable distance, there's one about an hour and 15 minutes away from me, and there's another one about 2.5 hours away from me. So building something that I'm really only going to be able to use at those places, it's not my most favorite idea. I've learned enough in my life so far to know that having a dedicated toy, rather than trying to make your vehicle you want to drive on the road also your toy, works out a lot better when you start breaking things. So having this as a dedicated race car would mean that I could take it to the track, not be afraid to push it to the limits and potentially break it, and then still be able to just put it back on the trailer and bring it back home. So really the point I'm at is, I want to know what you guys would like to see. I've had a ton of good feedback from you, and I think that it's hopefully been helpful for a lot of people who wanted to swap their V6 F-body to a V8 like I did. So what do you want to do? What do you want to see next? I don't think it's going to be entertaining for you, and it's going to be painful for me to keep beating my head against this thing to try to get the factory PCM to work. Are you interested in seeing me go to an aftermarket engine management system and see how that goes? It'll be my first time messing with one, so I'll be learning, and you guys can learn through my pain. Are you bored of this project and just think I should unload it as quickly as I can and get on with the other stuff? Or, you know, there's always the strip it down, sell it in pieces, and try to get your money back option, which I think I easily could, but again, I like the car. So, tell me what you think. Do you want this car? I'll cut you a killer deal. Do you want me to keep messing with it and try an aftermarket engine management system? More than likely Holley Terminator? Do you think we should take it apart and put the good pieces into something else and crush the leftovers? Do you have a different idea, a different suggestion? I'm open. I want to hear it. Maybe there's an option you guys can think of that I haven't. I've been all over the internet trying other people's tunes. I've replaced, so many sensors with known goods. More or less every sensor on the engine. So many electrical components, and I'm done battling with it. So I need your help deciding what to do next, team. What do you want to see me do? What are you interested in learning? What do you think will be fun? I really like the idea of a dedicated race car. I've never had a dedicated race car, so I really would like to, I think it would be fun to take this thing to the track, see what it'll do, and then see how fast we can make it. can already hear a lot of you saying, "Don't give up on it, Jason. You'll figure it out. Don't be a quitter." And I'll say you're right. I'm sure I could eventually figure this out. But like I said at the beginning, this current direction doesn't excite me. I have an LS1 powered F-body to drive on the road now. It's 100% legal, cock-locked, and ready to rock. So trying to make this thing drive on the road doesn't excite me. And putting time and effort into things that aren't exciting to me, well, one, it just won't happen. If I'm not excited about it, I won't do it. Two, I don't have enough time to waste it working on stuff that I'm not excited about. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. There's limited hours in the day for most people to be able to come out and turn wrenches and work on something that doesn't get them from A to B to work, to pay the bills, to buy the parts, to work on the project. So it's got to change direction or it's got to leave. And what direction do you guys think we should go? Full-blown race car? I like that idea. Sell it and put the money into something else? I like that idea too. I did have the idea, strip all the good parts off of this for the Firebird. The things like the K-member, the better clutch. What else have I put into this thing? I'm not going to take the engine apart, but I could take those parts off of this thing, put them in the Trans Am. I mean, it's the same chassis, they'll work. But then I'd be stuck with a chassis that doesn't move. I'd be stuck with a shell. It's hard to sell F-body shells in my area. And, I mean, this is a nice shell. It's rust-free. There's no rust in it. The biggest downside is that it's a hard top. But for a full-blown race car, hard top doesn't bother me. It actually lends a little bit more chassis rigidity, which will help if we end up making some big power with this thing. That's the other fun part. If you're making a race car that rides to and from the racetrack on a trailer, I mean, you'd never want to oil the track or spill coolant, but if you put some extra vents in the block, you just load it on the trailer and bring it home. Especially when you can get yourself as many aluminum block LS engines as you need. Mostly for free. Alright, well that's enough rambling, everybody. I don't like doing talking head videos, but y'all have been so supportive of the channel and this project that I want to give you some say in what we do with it next. I'd love to build a race car. I'd also be willing to sell it so we can put that money into other stuff. But I think a full dedicated race car, I can do some stuff too that I wouldn't do on a street car. And I can show that stuff to you guys. So let me know your thoughts. Leave them in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate every one of you that are taking the time watching the videos. All of you subscribers, thank you so much. Everybody commenting and interacting. I love it. I appreciate it. And more to come. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and until the next video, take care.